What's happening, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon Kindle and Create Space. A link will be in the description box below, as usual. This video is entitled Anger from Sexual Frustration. Anger because of sexual frustration. You know, some people are uptight, and some people are angry all the time. Why? Because they're frustrated that they're not having sex. But also because they're rejected. Because if nobody wants you or wants your advances to want them, people are feeling some type of way. You know, see it all the time where, you know, you feel like you should have people banging down your door, or everybody should tell you, yeah, you're the one, you're the catch, and everybody should be receptive to you, you know. And what happens is it doesn't happen that way, and that pisses people off, you know. I think it's a certain amount of jealousy, people who are having sex on a regular basis and people who aren't. I think there's a certain amount of hate involved in that because you got people not willing to admit that they're jumping on edge because they haven't had a release in a while, right? You know, I thought about this because I was leaving work and I opened the door for this lady, this older lady, and I didn't think too much of it. I was like, okay, well, here you go. I'm gonna open the door, wait till you come in, and then when she paid attention, saw me doing that, her immediate response was, "I can open the doors for myself." I'm like, all right, but in my mind, I'm like, you need to get laid. But then I thought about it, like, I know a lot of people, and I've known a lot of people over the years who weren't necessarily, it wasn't that their life was bad or they had a bad day or a bad experience. They were always moody and grumpy because they wasn't getting none. You know, you could say, as you can see, I didn't even know what an incel was, but that type of monotone, forced loneliness that has people kind of sad and upset, you know, lack of sex. You know, part of MGTOW, lack of sex. Not saying that's the whole thing, because, I'm just saying it's a part of it. Excuse me. Part of these combative ass women, lack of sex. Because the irony about these women is, you have your women say, I can get it anywhere. But they're not getting it. Or they're not getting anything good, right? You have the ones who say stuff like, how can I say that? I'm trying to get it verbatim. How do you say it? Because, they can get it anywhere. And then they were like, I haven't been out on a date in a long time. I don't think nobody wants me to do it. I still got it. The amount of ladies out there putting themselves out there in social media in this meat market kind of way that you can come get it because they want the attention and they want the affection that they're missing. Because it's not just sex, like I said. Like, one part of it is rejection, and the other part of it is sex, is affection, and attention for some people. At least I know they care about me. They're into me while they're into me, right? can't speak for women logic, but that's what I'm thinking. I don't know. Um, but I see it all the time. You know, this childish banter where you lash out like you hate somebody because you really want them to have sex with you. You know, some of you, and y'all know what I'm talking about because some of y'all feel like, attitude equals rough sex. And you just want rough sex, but you're not grown enough to say that, which I never understood, but, it is what it is. Um, Sometimes people get into bad habits, overeating, drinking, smoking, not exercising, letting themselves go because they're frustrated from the lack of sex and they're tired and they just giving up, so they gotta give themselves a reason to be unattractive. That's man or woman, but for those people, they get frustrated after that because after you destroy yourself and now nobody really wants you. Oh, you hear people say, man, what happened? You look good when you was such and such, or they thought you was cute when you was such and such, but you ain't never say nothing, so I just let myself go. Okay, you frustrated. A lot of these talking points that people are coming up with, and a lot of this angst and animosity, what is because you know you don't have anybody who holds you and hugs you and lays on you and sleeps with you and wakes up with you in the morning. You know, y'all don't want to say this, but this is for a certain type of people, right? Um, Part of the what used to be the gender war. What did that have to do with sex? Because ironically, if we can't get along standing up, but we can get along laying down. But the problem is, guess what? Some of us ain't getting along standing up so much that we ain't laying down, and that's making the situation worse. Because nobody wants to have sex with somebody who they feel is an enemy. So it worsens the problem, and people get bigger and badder attitudes because they're not getting any. Thus, swirling in interracial dating, right? Um, I also think that some people are frustrated because of them being parents or single parents or just married couples with kids, and you can't really do the things you used to do, and it just pisses you off. Like, you know, you can't be as freaky as you want to because you're a husband or you're a wife, or kids gonna come in, or the kids are always there, so you can't really go here or there. Excuse me. So I think people are angry because of sexual frustration. I also think part of that is also due to the fact that there are a bit of people who've been playing games because they thought, either I could get sex, and now you played yourself out of the game because now you might be going through droughts or whatever, or you curve so many people, ain't nobody throwing pitches no more, and now it ain't as cool as it used to be. Like, the, the once the person who thought they were God's gift to everybody else um, is struggling to get a gift. So, and you see it from time to time because that's what part of the wall is about. For the women, that's what part of the wall is about, because nobody's gonna want you anymore. I think the men hit a wall too, where you know You might want more than sex, but you're just gonna have to settle for sex, and it's aggravating. And if you still not getting sex, and that's what you settle for, then that could set you off. You can be really pissed, you know. But ultimately, I think a lot of us have an anger from sexual frustration. So we out, yo. Peace.